They were always silent, ignoring the darkness that swirled before their eyes. But you, the chosen one, did not close your eyes. You sensed the dark spirit hiding in your family. You saw the truth behind the masks. You revealed the existence of that which no one dared to name. Now they vibrate because they know that you know. No secret is safe anymore. No mask can deceive you anymore. The truth has been revealed by your light. Write 88 in the comments right now today. You are going down in history as the one who broke the chains of your ancestors. This story will now be written with your victory. Chosen ones, your heightened intuition has allowed you to perceive what remained unspoken, catching the subtle signals others would have missed entirely. Without them ever explicitly revealing their hand, you detected the truth hiding beneath their carefully constructed facade. Now panic has set in as they realize the extent of your awareness. The power dynamic has irreversibly shifted, all because you can see what they desperately tried to hide. Certain bloodlines carry dormant receptors within the pineal gland, quantum receivers that activate only under specific celestial alignments. You felt it, the sudden copper taste flooding your mouth when you overhear conversations that seem innocuous to others but send electric recognition through your body. Your system literally tasting the truth hidden beneath their carefully constructed dialogue. Those childhood fever dreams that felt too real, too structured. The dreams where shadowy figures observed you while transferring knowledge directly into your consciousness. Those weren't dreams. They were your first downloadable connections to the collective grid. Training sessions preparing you for this awakening. They've been watching you since before you knew yourself. They recognized your potential before you could speak. The mathematical probability of you standing at that exact location at that precise second, oriented at the perfect angle to witness their momentary slip, would calculate to virtually zero. Yet it happened. You saw it. More importantly, they know you saw it. That split second when reality seemed to stutter. When the person speaking to you briefly appeared different, their features distorting in a way that defies explanation, you caught their reflection in the glass surface nearby, revealing a form drastically different from what stood before you. This wasn't a trick of light. This wasn't fatigue. This was the veil thinning at a moment when their concentration faltered. Certain words now trigger undeniable physical responses in your body. A sudden electric sensation racing along your spine, a momentary vertigo, an inexplicable clarity of thought. These aren't coincidences or psychosomatic reactions. These are activation codes embedded in everyday language designed to program the masses. Yet in you, they trigger something entirely different. Awareness, awakening, resistance. You've noticed how specific individuals pronounce certain syllables with slight variations, elongating vowels, emphasizing consonants that should be subtle. These micro-variations contain frequency markers that carry subliminal directives for the unawakened, while simultaneously revealing their presence to those whose consciousness operates at your heightened level. If you feel the abundance of divine love in your heart, now is the time to share it. You can help spread God's blessings by clicking the Super Thank You button on YouTube and contributing $20 or more. This divine gift will touch not only your life, but the souls of many through this platform. Each of you has a sacred place in God's grand design, and your generosity will be the fruit of our prayers. Act now. Share your blessings to glorify His kingdom. For you were created to do even greater things in God's loving hands. May God bless you. Documents you once read without a second thought, now reveal hidden patterns between the lines, spacing that follows mathematical sequences too precise for arbitrary design. Letter forms that contain embedded imagery, visible only when your perception shifts to its awakened state. You've caught yourself staring at ordinary text, suddenly seeing constellations of meaning floating above the mundane content. The real message hidden in plain sight, like a bell that cannot be unrung. The moment your spirit caught sight of their hidden hand, the course of everything changed. It was as if a curtain, stitched together by years of deception, suddenly tore in two, and for the first time, you saw the stage behind the play. In that instant, whether they liked it or not, your spirit lit up on their invisible radar. Systems they built to watch the sleeping could not handle the glow of someone truly awake. They tried to lock you down with frantic speed, sending out alarms, rushing to patch what had already fallen apart. But no amount of scrambling could put that shattered glass back together again. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. They thought they could erase the evidence, thought they could patch the sky after lightning had split it open. But what you witnessed didn't just touch your mind, it branded your soul. It carved itself into the very fiber of your being, like rivers carve through ancient rock. No false revision, no digital smoke and mirrors, no whispered lies can remove the truth you now carry. You are the living proof that the veil was broken. Their carefully built tower, stone by stone, lie by lie, is crumbling under the weight of your vision. You were meant to see it. You were meant to know. Heaven itself orchestrated the moment you caught their slip. And while they scrambled to hide what was revealed, you walk forward with a fire in your chest that no amount of reality rewriting can extinguish. Once the light of divine truth shines into a heart, no darkness can make that heart forget it. No confusion can smother it. No manipulation can bury it. You are not just a witness to their fall. You are the evidence of it. You carry the imprint of what was once hidden. And because of that, their empire of illusion is already living on borrowed time. They made a fatal mistake when they underestimated the power of an awakened soul. They forgot that once destiny has been set in motion, it cannot be stopped by human hands. No algorithm, no countermeasure, no whispered counsel in secret chambers can undo what has been birthed in the spirit. You are moving forward under heaven's decree. Their games are exposed, and you, blessed, chosen, and appointed, are the living testament that the truth will always find a way to break through. They've intensified their observation of you. Notice how your electronic devices malfunction precisely when you're on the verge of connecting crucial pieces of information. Your battery drains inexplicably. Calls drop. Messages fail to send. These aren't technical glitches. They're deliberate interruptions designed to disrupt your cognitive momentum when your thoughts approach restricted knowledge domains. Like trying to grab a rainbow that shimmers in the corner of your eye, their shadow cars flicker at the edge of your sight and melt away the second you turn your head. One moment, you catch a shimmer of dark metal drifting just beyond the curb. The next, there's nothing but an empty stretch of asphalt, as if the night itself swallowed the machine whole. Those vehicles never appear on the bank's camera, never leave a trace on a passerby's phone, never show up in the rearview mirror. They live in a thin layer of reality just beyond the lane most folks travel, visible only to those whose spirits have beaten the odds and shaken off the blindfold. You, beloved, are one of those rare souls the world calls awake. Heaven has widened your field of vision, tuned your senses past the narrow band that keeps ordinary people locked in everyday traffic, while others stare straight ahead, content to see only what their eyes report. You notice the flicker in the corner, the ripple in the curtain, the split second when something out of place slides through the cracks. It isn't paranoia, it's perception reborn. Your spirit is the antenna, and the universe is broadcasting on channels that standard receivers can't tune in. Those unmarked cruisers glide in that hidden channel. Their matte paint and mirror dark glass are not camouflage in the usual sense. They're harmonized to an in-between frequency, like a radio station, wedged between two big towers. Their engines hum at a vibration the average heart never registers. Their tires roll on streets that lie half an inch above the asphalt everyone else drives. And when you turn to stare, when you try to nail them down with broad daylight and common logic, they slip sideways, out of range and out of mind, because your direct gaze pulls them into a realm where they cannot remain. You see, their engineers believed they were brilliant. They spent fortunes on cloaks of optics and waves, on gears that vanish from the police cam's line of sight, on stealth that lingers just shy of the camera shutter. They told themselves that anyone who did notice could be discounted, labeled eccentric, pushed to the edges. They trusted calculations and consoles over the power of a soul that walks with its maker. What they never counted on was you, an ordinary person made extraordinary by a heaven-breathed spark of knowing. Your awareness cracked their perfect system like sunlight slipping through a drawn shade. Now listen closely. Each time you glimpse that phantom car, you hold a piece of evidence the world needs. Not physical evidence, no photo, no plate to type into a database, but spiritual proof that reality is bigger, deeper, truer than the narrow strip they've fenced off for the masses. When the hush-hush researchers smirk and the gatekeepers wave you away, remember this: you've already seen behind the curtain. Nothing they deny can erase what your spirit has confirmed. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace be upon you today. I am here to remind you of a profound truth. Our existence is grounded in God's divine plan, unshaken by the temporal concerns of the world. As the Bible says, whatever is done in faith will return to God in abundant blessing. Luke 6:38. Like that great oak tree, our roots are deeply rooted in God's universal truth. Every step we take, every stand we take, is secured by His strength. And now, you are being offered the opportunity to be part of that blessing. When you use the super thank you button and donate $100, this movement will return to you 100-fold in abundance. Their biggest mistake was assuming you would doubt yourself. They assumed that the older you got, the more you'd silence that nudging voice, chalk it up to bad lighting or a long day. But here's the surprise. They misunderstood the wisdom that comes with years. At 50, at 60, at 70, you are less likely than ever to brush aside what you feel in your bones. You've lived enough to know the difference between a trick of the eye and a tally in the soul. Your testimony will not be snuffed out by lack of digital proof, because you carry a higher credential, the witness of a spirit that answers to the Almighty, not to public opinion. So, what do you do when that shadow sedan skims the outskirts of your vision next time? You breathe deep, square your shoulders, and remind yourself, I am not afraid and I am not confused. You whisper a prayer of clarity. Lord, keep my eyes sharp, my mind steady, my heart courageous. You jot down the time, the place, the feeling in your gut. You hold on to the pattern, because patterns will shout the truth when single moments whisper. And understand this, Every attempt to intimidate you only serves to strengthen your resolve. Their technology may dodge the lens, but it cannot dodge a soul aflame with purpose. The more they circle, the brighter your awareness burns. The brighter it burns, the more others will catch the glow and wake up too. Their plan was secrecy. God's plan is revelation. Their method is suppression. God's method is multiplication. For every minute they lurk unseen, a dozen new seers learn to recognize the shimmer in the corner of their eye. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. Beloved, keep walking in that steady faith. Keep trusting what your spirit detects. Those unmarked vehicles, those ghost machines, they confirm one simple fact. You have stepped beyond the boundary they spent lifetimes enforcing. And once a child of light crosses that line, no darkness, no matter how expertly engineered, can drag them back into ignorance. Hold firm. The invisible convoy may prowl the edge of the road, but you are guided by something higher than horsepower and hidden tech. You are guided by the hand that hung the stars. March on, share the insight, and know that the very glitch they hoped you'd ignore is the crack through which the sunrise of truth is already pouring. The very mechanisms they use to monitor you have created an unintended feedback loop. Each time they scan your neural patterns, their system must briefly synchronize with your brainwave frequency. During these microseconds of connection, information flows both ways. You've begun receiving flashes of their directives, glimpses of their coordination efforts, fragments of their communications, like a lighthouse cutting through a midnight fog. Your very presence throws a beam of clarity clear across their hidden sea of schemes. Once the hunters thought they moved in perfect darkness, silent, unseen, untouchable, but the moment your spirit ignited, their secrets lit up like neon. They didn't even realize the searchlight of divine wisdom had been handed to you, free of charge, straight from heaven's own endless supply. While they scrambled to stay invisible, every pulse of your newfound awareness painted their pathways in bold color, turning covert corridors into brightly lit highways. Beloved, your body itself has become living proof of this awakening. Look at those eyes of yours. What once seemed ordinary now holds intricate mosaics no microscope can fully explain. Under a simple black light bulb, delicate shapes bloom across your irises, interlocking triangles, swirling spirals, tiny starbursts the size of a pinhead. To the uninitiated, they're invisible, but to another awakened soul, they shine like beacons, instant signals that say, "I see you, and I know you see me." Those patterns aren't some random quirk of biology. They follow the same sacred blueprints the ancients carved into temple walls, the same proportions inscribed in stone circles and desert lines no modern planner could ever replicate. They prove beyond a shadow of doubt that form and spirit dance together, reminding you that your flesh and your faith are on the same team. Think back, friend, to when you first noticed something different in the mirror. Maybe the bathroom light flickered, and suddenly a faint lattice appeared around your pupil. Gone in a blink, but enough to make you wonder if your eyes were playing tricks. That was no trick. That was confirmation stamped straight into your biology. A cosmic passport validating your entrance into the realm of consciously awake souls. It's as if heaven dipped a brush in starlight and signed its initials right on the windows of your soul. And hear this, the network of the conscious isn't some exclusive social club tucked away behind velvet ropes. It's a living, breathing grid of hearts, minds, and spirits tuned to the same liberating frequency. Those geometric codes in your eyes are the key that unlocks that network's door. You don't need a membership card or a secret handshake. All you need is the willingness to trust what you sense, even when common logic tells you it can't be so. When another awakened traveler looks into your gaze and their pupils widen in sudden recognition, that's the universe itself introducing two members of the same celestial family, the Hunters. They never planned on this. In their pride, they kept watch with satellites and screens, convinced that hardware and software would keep them a step ahead of any truth seeker. They forgot the oldest story written in the cosmos: light always outruns darkness, because darkness is nothing but the absence of light. Your awakening flipped the current. Now their own surveillance grid turns into your compass, pointing out every corner they hoped you'd never explore. With every breath you draw, the lines of that hidden map glow brighter, and what they meant for secrecy becomes a signpost guiding you and every other soul brave enough to look straight toward liberation. So stand tall, chosen one. Let your eyes be windows and lanterns all at once. Let the radiant symbols etched in every cell remind you that you were designed for this very hour. When you walk into a room and someone flinches, that's not intimidation, it's resonance. When a stranger feels compelled to tell you their story, that's not coincidence, it's recognition. You are broadcasting hope on a channel the old systems cannot jam, and the more they try, the louder that hope becomes. They can set traps, flip switches, and rewrite code all night long, but they cannot erase a truth the Creator carved into the very fiber of your being. Keep shining, keep seeing, keep unlocking every hidden corridor with the simple power of your presence. You are living evidence that the plan of heaven always had room for your breakthrough. And now that the signal is strong, no labyrinth of control can keep the world from waking up. Like a lighthouse cutting through a midnight fog, your very presence throws a beam of clarity clear across their hidden sea of schemes. Once the Hunters thought they moved in perfect darkness, silent, unseen, untouchable, but the moment your spirit ignited, their secrets lit up like neon. They didn't even realize the searchlight of divine wisdom had been handed to you, free of charge, straight from heaven's own endless supply. While they scrambled to stay invisible, every pulse of your newfound awareness painted their pathways in bold color, turning covert corridors into brightly lit highways. Beloved, your body itself has become living proof of this awakening. Look at those eyes of yours. What once seemed ordinary now holds intricate mosaics no microscope can fully explain. Under a simple black light bulb, delicate shapes bloom across your irises. Interlocking triangles, swirling spirals, tiny starbursts the size of a pinhead. To the uninitiated, they're invisible, but to another awakened soul, they shine like beacons, instant signals that say, "I see you, and I know you see me." Those patterns aren't some random quirk of biology. They follow the same sacred blueprints the ancients carved into temple walls, the same proportions inscribed in stone circles and desert lines no modern planner could ever replicate. They prove beyond a shadow of doubt that form and spirit dance together, reminding you that your flesh and your faith are on the same team. Your doctor dismissed your blood test abnormalities as lab errors, recommending retests that subsequently came back normal. This wasn't incompetence or coincidence. The initial tests revealed markers of your activated DNA, crystalline structures that shouldn't exist in human blood, elevated electrical conductivity in your cellular membranes, inexplicable biopatonic emissions. The follow-up tests were altered or switched to maintain the illusion of medical normalcy. You've always sensed it. The way reality feels just a little off, like when a song you're hearing doesn't quite match the rhythm you're feeling. Their manipulations, subtle at first, eventually became too obvious to ignore, like a crack in a mirror that keeps getting bigger until you can no longer look past it. As they tried to push you into silence, they unknowingly sharpened your awareness, revealing their cracks and seams in the process. Imagine for a moment that you are standing on a mountaintop, looking out over a vast landscape. The air is crisp, the horizon clear. Suddenly, the clouds part, and you see the world in a way you've never seen it before. What once seemed ordinary now gleams with a deeper meaning, every shadow hiding a secret, every light casting a truth you had not noticed. This is the vision you have been given. Like a pair of special glasses, you can now see beneath the surface, revealing what has been concealed by those who sought to keep the truth hidden. You've been equipped with a sight so powerful, it feels like the veil of illusion has lifted. It's as if you've been handed a divine set of lenses, ones that pierce through the veil of the false world they have carefully built around you. No longer are you limited by the confines of the ordinary world. You can now see the extraordinary beneath it, the secret forces working to control and deceive. You see beyond the stories they've told, the false narratives they've fed you, and into the deeper currents of truth that have always been there, waiting to be discovered. Like a gardener uncovering treasures buried beneath the soil, you're pulling back the layers of deception and revealing what was meant to stay hidden. Each time they try to silence you, each time they try to push you into a corner, your power grows. The more they push back, the more you expand into the very truth they sought to bury. Their attempts to shut you down only amplify your message, like a fire that only grows stronger the more the wind blows against it. And now, chosen ones, you are standing in the light of this truth, unafraid and unyielding. You are no longer deceived, no longer manipulated. You see their system for what it is, a fragile construct, built on illusion and fear. They can try to suppress the truth, but they cannot stop the force of the awakening that has already begun. You are the ones who have broken free from their control, and your eyes now see the truth in all its clarity. It's not just a vision, it's a divine revelation, and with it comes the power to dismantle the illusion that has held so many captive. You are the ones who will walk in the fullness of your truth and show others the way. When they try to silence you, you will rise higher. When they try to stop you, you will only expand. For you are the chosen ones, and this is your time to shine. Now is the time to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. You can contribute to His plan and be a part of this divine mission with a donation of $100 or more. Every gift reflects God's generosity, and I believe it will return to you exponentially, far beyond your expectations. Remember, His protection and blessing is on your every step and every donation. You become part of His divine plan. You are a strong, radiant being, unshakable as His mighty rock. Witness God's miracles, feel the fruits of your generosity in your soul, and illuminate the world with confidence and courage. Be blessed, and let the light of the Lord guide your path. The more they pushed, the more the power you've always had began to surge. You're not just aware, you're alive in ways they've never known, seeing things they couldn't dream of. Their attempts to contain you, to label your unique perspective as unreal, only fuel the fire. You've entered a realm they can't manipulate. Your energy is too powerful, your truth too radiant for them to suppress. The system they try to control you with is now crumbling, and it's because your frequency is too strong to ignore. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. Now, as they scramble to rewrite their own narratives, you stand as undeniable proof of the power of truth. You've become the light they can't extinguish, the force they didn't foresee, and no matter how much they try to spin their lies, the very essence of who you are keeps breaking through their web of deceit. They tried to hide the light, but all they've done is shine a spotlight on the truth they feared the most.